In tonight's episode of the Chatting Podcast,
I think it would do really, really good as an album, but not too good as a Eurovision song.
I cannot imagine Theresa
No,
May
me neither. Actually,
sitting
that's
down
a
in her
perfectly
living
fair-
room
that's a
watching Strictly Come Dancing.
Perfectly fair thing. I think the most ridiculous choice for TV show comes in the form of Joe Biden being obsessed, apparently, with Honey Boo Boo.
Welcome back to the second season of the Chatting Podcast. Welcome. I'm your host, Olivia, and next to me is your other host, Chris.
I am here as well, and I have missed this so much. What about you?
So much.
How long has it been since we've recorded?
Months.
It's been months, literally months. But, I mean, both of us had exams. We both had a hell of a lot to do.
Exam after exam.
We're free now.
Exam.
We're done.
We are.
We're finished.
Insane.
I feel so much better now. But, yeah.
But you feel better because you're going off to uni. I've got another year of this shit.
Yeah, and then next year, what am I doing? At the when the end of the uni year is, what am I going to be doing? It's called exams.
True.
No matter how much I run, I'm not going to be able to escape exams. At least I'm going to be doing exams on the things I like.
Exactly.
So that's the thing. I mean, well, what can I say? So, first of all, got to address something. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome.
Hello.
We've kind of done a little bit of a makeover. As from now, basically all of the episodes of the podcast will be recorded on video as well, because we thought that our YouTube listeners deserve a little more interaction.
I hope my face fits my voice. Like,
yeah, if you've never seen Olivia before.
Previous listener and you've never seen me before, I hope my face suits my voice.
And if you're a previous listener and you didn't know that I look this awful, yes, I do.
No, you don't. Chris. Oh, gorgeous.
So anyway, if you've never listened to the Chatting Podcast with me and Olivia before, essentially what our podcast is all about is talking about entertainment news and then interviewing people who have changed people's lives for the better or for the even better. So basically, we're going to start off with the news section today, as we usually do. And I'm going to start off with something that, if any of you listened to some of our first episodes of the podcast, you will probably know Julia, who was basically the person who was doing the music segment when it was still a thing on the podcast.
Before it was copyrighted.
Before we got copyright struck. Thank you. I'm not. No, we've got to cut that out, actually. We've got to cut that out. That was a big up. Okay.
We got copyrighted by someone.
Yeah, we got copyrighted by somebody. Anyway, yes. But anyway, back to that. Julia is going to absolutely lose her shit when she hears that we are talking about Friends. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Friends. I like it. I really like it. And when I'm watching with Julia, it's really, really fun. But it's not one of those shows that I would classify as my favourite.
Julia's going to kill me. And not just Julia, all Friends fans from around the world are going to kill me. I have never watched Friends.
That's like 3/4 of our fan base.
Sorry. I've never watched it.
It doesn't matter. I mean, look, people don't watch things. Anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about with Friends is that a couple of weeks ago, Julia really, really wanted to watch the Friends reunion. I'm sure that a lot of you who are watching have already watched it. And as of a few days ago, it has actually broken the record for Sky One's most watched TV show ever. Like, full stop.
That is
That is an achievement. I'll tell you that much. I can't say I didn't expect it, to be fair. Because
I didn't, because do you know who watches Sky most, in my humble and mostly correct opinion? Old people.
You just called them out. You just called out all the old people in the world.
Literally, I've never seen anyone our age watch Sky that much.
Neither do I. We had the Sky box in the UK, but the only thing that we used to watch
Sky
was
box, but
not
BBC.
Exactly. We just for our fan base in Cyprus, this is going to make no sense to you.
Literally nothing.
But anyway, basically, we thought we might mention that because I watched the Friends reunion. Julia also watched it because she demanded my login credentials for my Sky account. Yeah, but anyway, basically, Friends reunion, most watched Sky program, pretty impressive. I think we've got to give a bit of a well done for that. Congrats. If it means anything from the two people in the studio right now, if it means anything from two people sitting in a recording booth in Cyprus, we thought we could give you guys some congratulations. Okay, so now we're going to move on to something which is a little bit more in your area of expertise, Olivia. Theatre, yes. Lily Allen, who you know from where, remind me, please?
The John Lewis ad. I reminded you of this.
Yes.
I don't think... did you
No,
remember?
I didn't remember it. You reminded me of it because, I mean, it was nostalgic when I watched it again. But anyway, John Lewis advert, Lily Allen, she will be making her West End debut in a new show, which is a supernatural thriller called 222, A Ghost Story. And they'll be premiering it at the Noel Coward Theatre in London.
I didn't know that Lily Allen was an actress. I just thought
neither did I. That's the point. That's exactly why they said she's making her debut now. And basically the play is about a couple who have different views about the existence of ghosts. And when some guests come over to the house, they stay up until 2:22 a.m. to see if their house is really haunted.
That sounds fun, actually.
It does sound actually quite fun.
Yeah.
And sorry, excuse me if I'm lifting up this piece of paper. This is our show plan.
Hiding your face.
But yeah, the set design is by Anna Fleischel. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is my German coming out now. Anna Fleischel, and she did the set design for Everybody's Talking About Jamie. I loved that show.
I didn't watch it.
It's have you ever watched Bad Education?
Yeah.
You know Stephen from Bad Education. He stars in it. He stars in this show, and basically the same person who did Everybody's Talking About Jamie is doing the set design for 222, and I'm really excited. I want to go and watch it. I'm not going to lie. I really want to go watch it, and I think when we go to London in August with Jules, I think we're going to watch it when we go there. But because I mean it's a part of because she's never been to London before. I thought it would be nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Because it's a part of the touristic thing to go to. You have to watch a play when you're there for the first time. But yeah. However, even though we've been talking quite a lot about theatre, okay, this week we thought we might focus a little bit more on television. So yeah, there's something that we have to bring up because we actually haven't recorded in quite a while. We wanted to do an episode on this, however, we couldn't. We have to address it.
Eurovision.
Yes.
It was a while ago, but hear me out. We had to say something because it was very exciting.
It was exciting for me. We watched it in the home theatre room in Opera with a bunch of with Yolanthe and Artemis and a couple of others.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
That was really fun. But
I was out that night and I came home early from like a night out because I wanted to sit and watch it. And when I came home, it was like halfway through. It was Iceland singing at that point.
I loved Iceland. It was hilarious. It was so good.
Everyone gives them so much shit and for no reason.
Why? I mean, the UK got a lot of shit because their song was quite generic.
Because they deserved it. It was so bad.
It was very generic. There was nothing special about it. However,
and then
I need to mention something which I'm not entirely sure you'll feel good about because I haven't actually told you this before. We do talk a lot about these things before the podcast, but I actually haven't told you this. I actually quite like Germany's.
No.
I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
It was fun. It was like comic relief. It was nothing else.
I'll tell you something. The song did not deserve more points than it got, okay? Because Jendrik, really, really good singer-songwriter, not particularly good song, I don't feel hate.
No.
I think it would do really, really good as an album, but not too good as a Eurovision song.
Not even as an album. It sounds slightly like a child.
Yeah, but I thought the performance was really, really funny. I thought it made it a lot better for me. My mum was on the basically we set up like our projector up on the roof. She was dancing around with the German flag. Because every time there's a football match or anything to do with Germany,
God.
it was so good. It was so fun. But
No, Germany and the UK.
Disappointing.
Everyone was so pressed about the UK and they were like, oh, it's because of Brexit. No, it's not. It was just a shit song.
Well, no, it also must have had something to do with Brexit
No.
because surely somebody would have given them a point. I'm
no,
sure. So.
well, surely somebody would have given Germany and what other countries?
Actually,
there was more
fair.
than one country.
That's
the Netherlands
fair,
also
wasn't it?
not get points or how much? I don't know.
I don't even remember. The Netherlands wasn't
'Cause
really
they
that memorable for
They
me.
changed the point system like a couple years ago, whatever it was.
They changed the point system whenever. I don't know. I don't really like the way they count
But
points now.
Italy's song, in my opinion, deserved first place. I am in love with them. I'm obsessed with them. They're gorgeous. Their presence, like their stage presence. It's not just the song. It's like their performance too. It was an amazing performance.
This band is a bit of you, isn't it? It's such a you thing
It
to
is,
like.
It's such a you.
It's
such
such
a
a-
you me thing.
It's such a you thing to like this
is.
band. They're your style.
Yeah.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I was incredibly disappointed with Cyprus.
Really? I thought Cyprus wasn't that bad. I thought
it was. I thought it was okay, but to be perfectly honest, I don't think it deserved any more points than it got because it was a Lady Gaga song sung by somebody who was from Cyprus.
But I actually think it was better than some of the other songs that
I'm sure
got placed
I'm sure it
higher.
was better than some of the other songs. However, just for me, it didn't deserve to. It wasn't anything too special. I think
No.
a lot of the songs this year were quite generic.
The Cyprus song that did deserve was Fuego.
We
oh my
absolutely
God.
deserved it, but where on earth were we going to do it? Driki's Palace.
Sirio Stadio.
Sirio Stadio.
If you're like not from Cyprus and don't know what Sirio Stadio is,
Basically,
I'm sorry.
it's the biggest stadium in Limassol, and Wembley puts it to shame by about 50%. You know, it's
it's falling around.
exactly. It's not
It's
very
like-
impressive.
No.
We did host a UB40 concert here once. We went with Yolanthe. It was nice. A couple of years ago, I think it was 2019. We went in the summer. It was really good. But
Keyboard like the
Keyboard teatro. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but Eurovision, I think let's just settle on nothing incredibly special apart from Italy's, which the only problem I have with Italy is that I think that their choice of song was really good. I think that their choice of genre was really good. But what I don't like are those people who say, oh my God, rock's making a comeback, even though they had no idea what
don't-
rock
yeah.
was the day before the Eurovision. That's what really annoys me. Me, you, Julia, and a lot of our friends
who listen
to this stuff, we have the right to say, yes, rock is making a comeback.
because it is.
Because it is. But the only people I think who have a right to say it's making a comeback are the people who liked it from before.
You can't just like suddenly get into rock
Exactly.
because you like what's it, Damiano's face.
Oh my God. I have
He is
a friend
beautiful.
who's,
He's
I
a
ha- I ha-
beautiful man.
I have a
but
friend who is obsessed with the bassist, and like she told me quite a few times that she wants to. Yeah, she wanted to do that. I mean, so basically, I
don't blame her, but
yeah.
you can't just like rock because. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on from that before we insult people any further and lose half our fan base. Now, the BBC has recently released an article.
A very strange article.
A very strange article, mind you, but I thought it was incredibly entertaining.
It was funny, but it was very strange.
All about politicians' favourite TV shows.
I want to start this though.
Oh dear
Bill
God.
Clinton's, one of the first people the BBC talks about in their article, Bill Clinton's favourite TV
Not
show
again.
is Bridgerton.
Oh,
We've
God.
come full circle from our first episode.
From
and
our first
season.
and our second and every single episode since then.
Bridgerton. It's because it's good. It's a good show.
Okay, yeah, so Bill Clinton, favourite TV show, Bridgerton. Not going to lie, he could have made some worse choices. He did make some worse
Definitely.
choices.
He
but
made
he
lots of
made a
worse
lot of worse
choices.
choices in the 90s, I'll tell you that much. But, I mean, then David Cameron, Breaking Bad, Gavin and Stacey. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. Don't like the man.
Yeah, I was
don't
about
like the
to
man
say,
in the slightest.
Don't like the man, but good.
It's good taste in TV shows, I think.
Gavin and Stacey.
Yes.
I love them.
It's hilarious. I love it. I think it's so
It's
good.
a classic.
Exactly. It's a modern classic, really. Now, Joe Biden, Mr. Joe Biden, who I'm not sure if you guys know, is the president of a country called the United States of America. And his favorite TV shows are Parks and Recreation, Modern Family. Basically, my brother got me really into Modern Family. I don't watch it all the time, but a lot of the time when I run out of other things to watch, I basically just start watching Modern Family again. I love it. I think it's hilarious. However, I think the most ridiculous choice for TV show comes in the form of Joe Biden being obsessed, apparently, with Honey Boo Boo.
I laughed so hard when I saw it because
What? Like,
what?
I saw it and I was in my room at about 1 a.m. yesterday in my apartment reading this stuff because we needed to make a show plan. And it was the last thing that we wanted to put on the show plan. And I saw this and I'm just like,
Excuse me.
Excuse me? Since when?
But honestly, worse than that, Theresa May, her favourite show is Strictly Come Dancing.
Okay, that's not worse. You cannot.
No, I love Strictly.
Okay, good.
I love Strictly.
Yeah, okay, just making sure.
I cannot imagine Theresa
No,
May
me neither. Actually,
sitting
that's
down
a
in her
perfectly
living
fair-
room
that's a
watching Strictly Come Dancing.
Perfectly fair thing. You know what would be even better? BJ sitting in his living room watching Strictly Come Dancing. Dancing around to the music at the same time.
I do actually dance around to Strictly sometimes.
So do I. I mean, it's okay. Finally, rounding off the news section with one tiny little bit of last section about TV. And there's no way that you'll know anything about this because this is way more my thing.
I'm going to shut up now.
Basically, Jeremy Clarkson, who was the old host, I can't believe I have to explain this, was the old host of Top Gear. If you're from the UK, you probably most likely know him. Either you love him or you hate him. Personally, I quite like him. I think he's hilarious. But I mean, there are some things he says which can be construed as quite rude. But basically, he has started a new TV show on Amazon called Clarksons Farm. Because for the past 10 or so years, he's owned a farm. However, he's had other people do it. And now that he's kind of stopped making car shows for Amazon so much, he started this new show called Clarksons Farm. And it's basically taken Amazon audiences by storm because of how accurate it is and how hilarious it is. Because he's got no idea how to do any type of farming. And yet he owns a Lamborghini tractor.
Since when do Lamborghini make tractors?
That's what they started out as doing. You know that?
What?
Yeah. Before they made cars, they made tractors.
Actually?
Yeah.
I had no idea. You literally just...
I know, right?
What?
Poked a massive hole in your logic.
Yes.
But basically, I think the most hilarious thing about that show is the fact that every single time he tries to do something, gets yelled at constantly by the villagers about doing it wrong. I think one of my favorite quotes from one of the episodes which I watched was, "Clarkson, that's about as straight as a roundabout."
What the... It's only in the UK.
Exactly. Only in the UK. Only in the Cotswolds. But yeah, I mean, I think we've covered quite a lot in the news section today. And basically, a lot of content this week. I feel like it's just cramming in all the stuff we missed. It's cramming in all the stuff we missed. But essentially, now we're going to go over to our guest section. If you're watching on YouTube, all of a sudden someone else is going to pop up here in a minute. And we are basically going to segue quite nicely on from Jeremy Clarkson, who is a car journalist, into someone else who likes cars. So why don't we go into that right now? So now we're segueing into the interview segment from the last thing we were talking about, Clarksons Farm. We are now going to talk to somebody who actually does know quite a bit about cars. His name is Justin Pronk, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about basically his future in robotics and a little bit about his boy racing days as a go-kart racer. How are you, Justin?
I'm good, thank you.
You're all good?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Got a couple of questions for you here. First one that I really, really want to know is what made you choose robotics? Like, genuinely, what made you think that it's interesting?
I just think it's more towards the future. It's what everyone's going to be doing in the future.
It's what
It's what, it's going to be how everyone builds things. It's going to be how they manufacture things. It's the future, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting topic to be able to be interested
You can already see it in like some of Elon Musk's things, like his factories for Tesla as well.
Even though that basically you do like robotics, one thing that I've known from you I've known for you for quite a while is that you really like cars. Like, what got you attracted to racing with go-karts? Like, you've always been really like cars, haven't you?
Well, yeah, for go-karting, I saw, really, it was just how I was watching F1, and then everyone wants to be that. Like, they see something that cool, they want to do it.
Yeah, they want to aspire to, yeah.
I watched a few YouTube tutorials on how people tried to get into it.
My grandma watches the Formula One, and I never liked it. But when I go over to her house, she's always, in the summer, she's like watching it. And I'm
Your grandma watches Formula One?
And she watches tennis too, like Wembley.
Cool grandma.
I can't even get my dad to watch Formula One.
So weird.
Well, never mind. I mean, okay. So, now that basically we've talked about a little bit about go-karting, a little bit about robotics, one thing that I really want to get from you is you've chosen robotics as a future career choice. You like cars. What do you think about the future in automation with cars, self-driving cars, things like that? What's your opinion on them?
Well, you see, I think it's a great idea. It's good. It's safe. It makes everything predictable. But at the same time, if everyone's kind of going for self-driving cars, it takes the fun away from all the people that do like cars.
Well, I mean, something tells me that I feel like, it's one of those things that people who really enjoy driving, petrol heads like us two, for example, won't really be buying self-driving cars.
I don't think it's going to catch on that much, self-driving cars. I don't think they will.
I feel like they're going to catch on with people who just want to use it as an object to get from A to B. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it would. But really, I think it's better if you had just assisted cars, because that way you have the best of both.
Yeah, exactly. You've got the best of both worlds because you could basically just do both things. That's pretty much like, I mean, Teslas have got that already, haven't they? They've got
I think so, yeah.
they've got some of the automatic systems in place, but of course, at any time you can jump in and you can grab the wheel. And basically, last thing I wanted to ask you is, we've been talking a lot about F1. What's your opinion on the Mercedes F1 team?
Red Bull for the win.
Okay, right. I'm just gonna take that as a you don't like Mercedes all that much?
No, I'm fine with Mercedes. I like what they're doing, but I really think that Red Bull should actually win this season, because I want it to change. They've won like for the past 6 seasons in a row.
Something has to change, and I mean,
I want Red Bull to win.
I mean, I used to support Mercedes because my mum is obviously German, so she is obsessed with things like that. But you got to change my mind on that.
I actually want to point out something. The headquarters for the Mercedes F1 team isn't actually in Germany. It's in the UK.
You've just blown my mind right out of the water. And on that note, thank you very much for listening to this week's podcast with me and Olivia and our special guest, Justin. We really hope you guys have enjoyed the first episode of the second season. And from me and Olivia, it's bye.